Thank you so much, my very good friend Alexander and Michael, for giving me this opportunity to have my views about what they are asking me. Michael was asking me to talk about the cooperative development, peace, and security in a greater perspective or in a larger perspective in Eurasia. So at the outset, I would like to again thanks the Ethel and Julius Rosenberg Peace Initiatives, which invited me for giving this, and especially giving this opportunity to present my views on this topic. And I really feel honored to be among of this galaxy of scholars in between the conversation and deliberation about that. One thing is very sure, which we need to understand in this context is that with the end of the Cold War, many looked forward to an era of peace and prosperity. We thought that it is the end of the era of the conflict and war, everything. But nevertheless, I think the kind of current challenges which we are facing as being a humankind, especially in this 21st century, still, I think there is a regular menace of the nuclear war, one of the very important element in this concept. Another thing is natural disasters, vicious ethnic and religious discriminations still have. We are facing these challenges, and more to that, the terrorism, which is really one of the biggest challenge of the humankind of this 21st century, still in 21st century. This is really need to understand if we really want to understand or making towards the development of peace instead of that. But before going ahead, before going towards the peace, it is also need to understand what is the root cause of this terrorism and the kind of situations we are facing right now in Afghanistan crisis. And I think world knows about that. There is no need to tell them again and again that it was only about the Pakistan, which is the origin of the terrorism. And everybody knows about that. And even the Afghanistan crisis, which is we need to understand, even the Afghanistan people, citizens, are also blaming into that it is only because of the Pakistan involvement we have this kind of pathetic conditions. It is not only about the Pakistan, even the Pakistan occupied Kashmir is also one of the problematic area where citizens of these particular regions are always blaming into that. Their acute situations, even they don't have the basic essential works for that particular thing. So I think that is we need to understand the root cause. Otherwise, we will not be able to take the solution, and we will not be understand the root cause of conflict. Only then we can talk about the solutions. So that is why, and this particular pandemic disease like COVID-19 also present an ongoing phase of conflict, poverty, hunger, degradation of the natural environment, and ever widening. And this is also one of the very important point is that this is also continuing effort of the ever widening rich and poor divide, which is widening, which is we are not going to fill this gap. Even it is widening through this pandemic era of since last first and 1.5 years. But still, before going into understand the peace, it is very important, in my point of view, to understand the cause of the problem. And we have various challenges, which I already counted to you. So I think with such severe and countless problems which is confronting us, we need to think about peace differently. I think this is the time we need to think about peace in different way. That's why this is my hypothesis, to understand the root cause of the conflict only, and to accept that yes, this is the conflict which we are having because of this particular problem. So that is why we can count on the peace. We can think about the peace only. And I think I can quote here in the Margaret Mead, when one said that a small group of thoughtful people could change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. spot on her statement, it has been individual or small group of people who have taken it as their life mission to eliminate depression from the face of the earth and ensure world peace. I think from modest first phase, now their fight has spread worldwide. With this reference, I think the Idel and Julius Rosenberg peace initiatives, which also received support from the Russian Presidential Grant Foundation and several Russian and Central Asian NGO, can play a significant role in coming years, especially to develop the cooperation, peace and security in Greater Eurasia. As far as role of Central Asian countries, because Michael was asking me that if there will be some kind of correlation between Central Asian countries and Russian or into the Greater Eurasia, I think this particular idea of Eurasian integration, which we are talking about now, it was, I think, in the first president of Kazakhstan when Nursultan Nazarbayev announced in 1994, and having passed several development stages now, we can say, and it has found its implementation today in the activities of Eurasian Economic Union. And subsequently, the strategic initiative for building partnership on the entire Eurasian continent proposed by the very first president of Kazakhstan, Nursultan, was enshrined in the Astana Declaration of Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. I think in 2015, in his speech in UN General Assembly, the first president of Kazakhstan put forward creating Greater Eurasia, which implies combining the Eurasian Economic Union, the Silk Road, various Silk Road initiatives, and European Union into a single integration project. So I think the unprecedented Greater Eurasia project coordinate the work of these associations and initiatives, including the liberalizations of trade relations between their participations, the joint development of transport corridors, even you can say about the diversification of the energy routes, the expansion of the investment operations, and other issues of economic interaction. In April 2019, which is very important, at the session of Second Forum of International Cooperation of, I think, One Belt, One Road, which is now called BRI, in Beijing, the first president of Kazakhstan, Nursultan, proposed the world community to create a new geopolitical reality. And I think he proposed the 3D, which means to establish 3 dialogues. And this is, I think, the brief you can understand the whole process of development of peace. The first dialogue affects the global level, which a dialogue between the United States, Russia, China, and the European Union. The second dialogue is necessary at the Eurasia level to unite the potential of the Conference on Interaction and Confidence Building Measures in Asia and Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. So third dialogue is a systematic economic dialogue between the Eurasian Economic Union, European Union, and Shanghai Cooperation Organization and Association of the Southeast Asian Nation. And I think the development of economic cooperation in this format is capable, why? Firstly, of giving a powerful impetus to the development of our countries, the growth of economic and improving the well-being of citizens. Secondly, to create new sources of diversification, strengthen competitiveness, improve the business climate, and increase states' investment activities. And third, the transformation into a single to enhance the global role of Greater Eurasia. And that is why when Alexander, my good friend Alexander, was mentioning that we were met in G Global project, this particular project is also initiated by the first president of Kazakhstan, where he thinks about that the improvement of the operating efficiency of the world community through a single and equal dialogue among the people of the world, carrying out the research, elaborate of the recommendations and program on current issues and trends of development of the national economies and the global communities by involving a wide range of representatives of the government, public, media, as business community. They should all come together to solve the problems which we are facing, to solve the challenges which we are facing. And that is why his focus was on this particular platform, to create a kind of platform where we met, where I met with Alexander. But we also need to understand in general perspective. Okay, you can understand what is the root cause of the conflict, then you can make your step towards the peace. But in general way, what it should be done, either it is talking about the peace initiatives of your country, or in country in India or Kazakhstan, everywhere, we should need to understand what should be the, in general perspective, we can do. I think we need to conclude in this particular manner that there should be some general objectives which we have to focus on. The first objective should be to consolidate of the world community effort on understanding the global task of civilization and building up practice solutions for the progressive development of the world economy. This is because last speaker was also focusing on more economy into this perspective, and I think that is absolutely right to consolidate to the world community in this direction. I think second is to creating the condition for the worldwide expert community for interactive, open and public discussion and debates. That is also one of the very important tasks or objective to establish a peace, cooperative development and security in Greater Eurasia. I think third one is to organize and conduct of international forum. I think the online conferences which we are started now, interactive sessions and collaborations with especially UN agencies and key partner in the particular region in Greater Eurasia. And fourth one is to bringing together representative of the government, major international organizations, scientific and business communities to develop the anti-crisis recommendation, which is very important in this progress. And fifth one is to exchange of views between different segments of the population, representative of other sector and levels of the government, by placing and receiving analytical forecast and offering online or offline, both mode we can do it. And to improve the operating efficiency of the world community through a single and equal dialogue. This is also very important. And last but not the least, I think to carrying out the research recommendation and program on current issues and trends of the national economies and to global community by evolving a wide range of government representative, public, media and business communities are some of the very prominent tasks or objective in front of us to develop cooperation, to develop peace and security in this particular region of the Greater Eurasia. Thank you so much.